Seasons and Signs is for the misunderstood, the disconnected, the people who want more out of life, certainly, but maybe don't know where to start or where to get it. I know I was the ideal person for this academy. This is why I started it and why you guys founded it with me, I think, is because for me, there was no school that existed really like this. And so, as a lot of people know, as a lot of you guys know, my wellness journey started in a jail cell, and so I didn't have I had everything put together on paper, but my foundation of self was a complete crumbling. I had low self-esteem, low self-worth. You would have never known it. I was a complete people pleaser. I had no boundaries. My mom used to always say, she's like, "Michelina, you have no boundaries." I'm like, "Okay, Mom, but how do I get boundaries?" And she couldn't tell me. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help me at all, because what am I supposed to do with that?
Number one, like you said, I didn't know where to start. I had consulted therapists. I had gone to physio because I was physically and mentally unwell. So I had been to therapists, massage therapists, all of it, card readers, you name it. And all of them seem to be incomplete. So this idea of a school where you have such a holistic approach to things, where you can kind of pick and choose what you're missing in your life and have it all come together so wonderfully, is such a blessing. I can't even say, from someone who was looking for all of it and who had to work so hard to get bits and pieces everywhere, from a place where we have information a little bit everywhere. We see the news, and then we see our books, and then we see what our parents taught us, and we see what our teachers teach us. But where do we access real wisdom? It's really hard to have that discernment. And at this academy, we make sure that the coaches that come in do have that discernment. We're not teaching you things just to teach. We're teaching you things because what we teach you is important and we've experienced it. So I think the ideal clients are people who have been there, who have been in that empty space, who have been in that alone space where they're looking for help and not knowing where to go.
The people who feel kind of outcast is too strong of a word, but the people who are a little bit different. I don't want to be within the confines of society, but maybe I don't want to work a 9-to-5, or I don't want to be stuck in the healthcare system going in and out of the pharmacy and the physical therapist office. I know that I am here for better. I'm here for myself. I'm a little bit different, and I want to be different. And then the second point was those people, and this is kind of where I came from, that should make me happy on paper. I have the picture perfect life, but why am I not happy? Why is this not enough? Why is this not right? How do I get to where it is right?
Okay, let's move into, and maybe we covered this a little bit, but what benefits can you get from being a student here? I think that we all were students before we were teachers.
I think, of course, the access to so many lessons, so many courses here is a plus. But I think having access to the coaches is probably the most important thing, because it's there's only so much that we can say within an hour. But if you have a specific question that is of interest and it helps the community as a whole, I think it would be a pleasure to answer that and to explore that with you. Even if you're not really part of this discussion tier or whatnot, it truly makes a huge difference, knowing that you're supported by a huge community, not only by your fellow classmates, but also the coaches that surround this school. We're always going for the subtle transformations that create big changes. It's always the subtle amount of information in which that as you practice and commit, you start to notice the shifts within yourself first, before you change the relationships, the environments that you live in. So that is to say that the transformation isn't going to be instantaneous, because we are forming a new version of you, which is essentially a habit. that will constantly change and shift as like life and moments go on and on. So the transformation is ultimately you getting what you want, but we're helping you become the person that is able to get what they want.
Ideally, if you really want to be a full-fledged student in the academy, you'll be here for a year, and you'll be here through personal mastery, emotional mastery, spiritual and leadership mastery. That will be the most beneficial thing, because changes start to happen.
We're not talking about this love and life, toxic positivity kind of thing. We're not talking about no longer having like these gut-wrenching moments in your life. We're talking about being able to maneuver and respond differently. We're talking about when you go through the same pain again, how do you handle it differently this time? We're talking about how can you get back to your center, even in the midst of these difficult events in life, because those are inevitable.
If we go back to, like we talked about the benefits, I think the beautiful thing about the academy is that it's kind of the commitment level where you're just jumping in the deep end and you're going to get it done. Like, this isn't a big drawn out process where you have to be committed for the next decade of your life. Like, you're going to move, because we're coming at it from every angle, working together, talking about all the things. Like, you're touching all those points. And so you're moving that much faster. And so it is a commitment. Of course it's a commitment. You have to be ready to commit to yourself.
But let's say that you're like, I'm only interested in body. I'm only interested in Sarah's work right now. I'm only interested in, I've got chronic pain. I'm only interested in the physical component of a thing. The other people are cool, but I'm not interested in them right now. That's fine. That's great. Love that for you, because the material is not going anywhere. And it's a humbling thing for me, because like 4 years ago, this didn't exist. You know, like 4 years ago, I don't know if you guys realize, I realize that I don't take it for granted. I didn't just have one person buy into my dream. I had three people buy into it with their own perfect skill sets that complemented it perfectly. Like, it is really a fascinating thing to behold. It is really fascinating thing to behold. So I will just say, the school is dope. Get yourself involved in it if you want to grow and heal 10x quickly. We would love to have you. We would love to see you there. And it really is just, I don't know, so fun. I think it's so fun. I think the school's so fun. I really do.
What we're trying to do here is like get you to understand that you don't have to be an intellectual to be here. You don't have to be good at everything. You don't have to be good at anything. You just have to be here and be willing to get to know yourself. And when you get to know yourself, you bring the magic to the table, period. You get to embody that confidence, period. You get to know what your natural abilities are and the confidence to develop skills that you didn't even know you might have wanted to develop in the first place.
Living your life is fundamentally building blocks. So you may be dealing with all sorts of circumstances in which your boundaries are being overstepped, you're not living in the best environment, you're dealing with people that are not ideal to be with. It could be anything, but you have to ask yourself, what is the life that I truly want? What is the life that I ideally want to embody for myself? And if this school seems like the best first step, then I would say trust your gut, take that opportunity, because we'll be here for you. And I think that's important to note, because life can showcase a lot of different circumstances, but we're here to help you grow through those, because we understand.